Hey guys, Ash Lane here. Today I'm very excited to share a special episode with you guys. I had a chance to sit down and chat for quite a while with SPENCER23 You guys know him, big YouTuber, great guy, and we talked clan building, giving tips and all kinds of advice and just some storytelling about our clans and how they came to be. Also, I'm doing a giveaway this episode. Comment and tell us a little bit about your clan, either in my channel or Spencer's channel, and very importantly, this is only part one of our discussion right now. The other part is being uploaded simultaneously on Spencer's channel. So after you've listened to this, make sure you head right on over to Spencer's channel, subscribe if you haven't already, and guys, enjoy the conversation. So I am Ash, and he is Spencer23 Spencer, what's up, man?
Hey Ash, how you doing?
I am doing great. I think I'm super excited to have to work together here and talk about running a clan. I think we both have a little bit of experience in it.
Yeah, the Lost Phoenix, we have a few clans, and I'm led to believe that you guys have a few clans too. Are you up to 5 or 6 now, is it?
Yeah, we've got 6 clans going strong. So yeah, we're both have a lot of experience. So I met you. We met each other at ClashCon actually.
We did. I got to say, I was impressed, very impressed by you and Gan standing up all day, doing those workshops, which looked absolutely shattering. So kudos for that. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I got to be honest. It was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. I felt like I felt more beat than a day of real work after I was done. So
yeah, I was tired watching the whole thing and walking around. So how you did it, I have no idea. But yeah, well done for that.
No, thank you. It was real fun to do, and you were like a celebrity sideshow there. I saw everybody coming up to you as well, getting the autographs and stuff.
I don't know about that, but the whole event was pretty awesome.
It was.
I was pretty impressed with everything, and I was watching Gal actually explaining the other night. It wasn't really all about the update. A lot of people thought it was just all about the update, but there's so much other things going on there that
I think
impressive.
Having both been on the ground there, it was awesome to meet guys like you and other YouTubers and just clashers all from around the world. And we had a chance to grab a drink together later on that evening, and I think one of us mentioned possibly working together, and here it is. And like I said, I'm pretty excited to have a chat with you.
That's right. So I guess we need to discuss and help the guys as far as building their clan empires.
Absolutely.
If that's what they want to do.
Yeah, so I guess we could, getting started on building a clan, I guess the first thing you would want to think about is setting up some either rules or expectations or goals, right? So I think that's a pretty good place to start.
That is certainly something that we did at Lost Phoenix, and because it avoids any confrontations, any arguments, that kind of thing. Exactly. If all of the rules and the goals are set in stone and everybody knows what they are, it makes life a heck of a lot easier for everybody to be towing the same line, and you can achieve what it is that you achieve. I've actually got our original rules right in front of us here, and what is the date on this? 3rd of February 2013. So this is when we first put up onto the Facebook page a set of rules. I mean, how did you go about distributing your rules and goals to your guys?
Yeah, I think we did the same thing. We didn't have an official document in the beginning. It's funny that we had rules, pretty basic rules and pretty basic direction, but I'm sure you can kind of empathize with this. But back then, this is before Clan Wars, so there weren't a ton of rules besides just conduct that were.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, all conduct rules.
Yeah.
So,
why don't you read a couple of the original
I've got things on
rules
here like, when farmers are asked to chase trophies, please comply for the good of the whole clan.
I'm sure the guys would have a laugh about that now.
I don't know if there's as much of that goes on today, but back then that was really important because you were trying to demonstrate trophies in your clan to get the recruits in, right? So, if you had mixed farmers and trophy hunters in the beginning, you needed the farmers sometimes, to get a few trophies to try and help you recruit.
Oh, absolutely. So if you were starting we were the same way. I mean, we pushed periodically and also a lot of farming. If you were going to set up a clan today, maybe it would be beneficial for the viewers to discuss, what would your goals be on a fresh new clan say you wanted to make like a war clan, but you wanted room for improvement. Like, what would some rules that you would bring to the table be today?
Wow, you know what? I mean, it sounds like such an epic struggle to do it all again, right? After
I
all
know,
this
right?
time
Starting from
to even
scratch.
contemplate the idea of starting from the beginning, it sends shivers. I mean, I have the greatest sympathy. I see a lot of clan leaders out there working really, really hard trying to build up some of these new clans. I see them recruiting, doing the best that they can. And if I was to try and start again today. Well, see, I'm really keen on the trophies. I think you're more of a war guy than the trophies. Is that right?
Yeah, I've pushed and stuff, a few times, and we do as a clan and as an alliance, but we're not constantly trophy hunting as you guys are.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess if you were to do one today, you're probably your focus would be on the war. I think for me, just because it's the way I've been since the beginning, my focus would be on the trophies. Even though I've got no trophies right now, but I'd be trying to recruit the guys who have the trophies.
Yeah.
That's where I'd be going. But obviously, we'd be doing constant wars as well. And as far as how to get hold of those guys who are willing to do both, I think now a lot of things have changed. It used to be that the trophy guys and the war guys were distinctly different. But now there's a lot of trophy guys who are also really into the wars as well. So there's no reason you can't do both. People used to say you can't do both. I think now you certainly, if you're a max Town Hall 10, if you're a farmer, it can be difficult to do both. But I think if you're maxed, I think you really can do both.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that goals are more murky now than they were before. So I think that's the point that we're both kind of getting at. I think a code of conduct is needed. Like maybe you're an adult clan and anything goes, and that's fine. But if that's the case, I would even state that. I think we're in more I don't know if family friendly is the right word, but more pause. I don't know. Help me, Spence.
Sure. Well, I mean, we had a very similar thing. So, I mean, even though we weren't kicking people for bad language, it had to be appropriate, right? So that you would sometimes get people who were just constantly just wanted to spam the clan chat with swearing, and that just adds nothing. It really isn't. Yeah. We wanted to be slightly more professional than that. We wanted to keep the good people. And, if a swear word popped out when somebody lost a raid, that's understandable. But, just constantly using bad language really I don't think is the best way to build a clan. But I mean, just going back now, I was just thinking about it then. If I was to try and build today, I think the problem that you would have, and I see these war clans doing it, is recruiting as a war clan. You obviously don't really have any rankings within Side Clash to show who you are, unlike the trophy guys, right? So you can see the trophy guys in the top 200. If you can sneak into the top 200, at least you're then visible. The war guys, they're having to do it a little bit more. It's a bit more complicated. So you've got your number of war wins, but if you start a clan today and you've got, say, 0 war wins, for example, you started this morning, that has got to be an uphill struggle, right? I wouldn't even know how to tackle that.
Well, what we do is we have a system where new player, and not every new clan might have the luxury of doing this right off the bat, but what we do is any new player that comes to the clan, we have them get in contact with us through the Line app, chat app, third-party application that you can chat to your, clan wars, etc. And what we do is once we've given them all the clan rules and our war strategy and stuff like that, new members are required to war their first 3 wars with our clan. And what that does is it allows us to evaluate them and also for them to, test the waters with our clan, see if it's the right fit for them. And then after those 3 wars, which is, generally a week, we touch base and we kind of, both parties are able to share their thoughts on how things are working. And it also gives us time to evaluate them in war and maybe send them off to another clan that's in our family of clans if we don't feel they're a great fit for, our caliber of war.
Right. So do you have, I mean, I know what we do sometimes in Lost Phoenix. So there are certain clans within our group. I mean, there's 18 clans in total.
Yeah,
and there's
crazy.
certain clans within there who have a pretty exemplary war record. So if they get a new guy in who they're not entirely sure about, then sometimes that guy will be sent off to one of the other clans who maybe doesn't have the greatest war record. It's not going to be the end of the world if this new player doesn't perform quite so well. And so they'll kind of be trialed in some of the other clans first. Mm-hmm. And then if they've proven that they are pretty awesome at war, then they'll come back into one of the clans that's got the pretty good war record, and they'll have kind of proven themselves in one of the alternative clans. You do anything that way, or?
We don't have a ton of movement between clans because for us, we're all more war focused. So I don't think any of our clans in our alliance really would want to hold on to somebody who's struggling right now. Not to say that there's not, a lot of times struggling is really relative too. So if you're a Town Hall 10, a max Town Hall 10. Sometimes you'll struggle against max bases, and then you'll shine against, mid-level bases, just while you're honing in your strategy skills. So what we do is sometimes we encourage people to just go off, watch YouTube or whatever, and then come back once once they feel they can really grasp a strategy, how to consistently 2-star or something like that,
Do you look at their war stars in their profile? Is that critical to you guys, or?
Yeah, it's a useful tool. War stars in their war loot, like their total, but both are totally arbitrary in a way as well, because you could have high war stars simply by attacking somebody way lower on the map, bullying somebody, or you could have high war loot just being in a winning clan for a long time in one.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you got to think about some of the guys have been max Town Hall 10 since War came out.
Yeah.
Now, those guys are less likely to have high War stars than, for example, somebody who's been Town Hall 8 since then, who has pretty much been 3-starring everything since day one.
Absolutely.
They are going to look like a much better War candidate, right? So the Town Hall 10 guys, they're struggling to get their War stars sometimes over the sort of 300 and 400. Well, I know that I am, but I'm one of the late attackers, right? So I try and go in with a clear up to try and do the crazy raid and contribute basically nothing to the war, and don't get a lot added to my profile. But there are, there's the attackers who go in straight away, and they've got the stars. They get to pick off the Town Hall 9s at the bottom and get themselves 6 nice stars into their profile, and that might not necessarily be the best player, of course.
Spencer, did you just admit to doing bad raids on purpose for YouTube?
No, of course.
I caught you.
Purpose. I did do an entertaining raid today, though, which I'm still debating whether I show it, because I know I'll get so much hate for showing this raid. It's so bad.
I heard a rumor it was a mass witch.
Do you know what? The mass witch wasn't as bad as the subsequent raid after that. The mass witch raid was approved by Glider, and he did agree to everything I was going to do in the raid, but a couple of things went wrong. But then I tried an air attack. I'm not an air attacker, as probably anybody who watches my channel knows. I'm not really an air attacker. And I just thought, you know what? It's the end of the war. We've won this war. I'm going to try one of these hybrid air attacks. And well, I will post the results, but it's embarrassing but hilarious.
Maybe you should play it in the background of this conversation.
You know what? I might do it, but I don't. Okay, yeah. Right.
Okay, well, moving on. I'll save you from that topic. So recruiting, right? Obviously, the biggest part of establishing a clan is recruiting solid members, the type of members that you want. Now, we just talked a little bit about what we look on. You asked me about war stats on the profiles. I'm just from the clan perspective, and then we'll talk about how to find the players. Is there anything that you look at? Do you concern yourself with gold grabs, stuff like that, trophy, sweet victory? Or...
So we have our minimum stats for people to actually. They'll just be rejected automatically if they don't meet the minimum, right? So, and that includes friend in need, for example. This is for the lower clans. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure that they've been donating troops, this kind of thing. But you know what? For the most part, as far as the main clan is concerned, it's purely a case of, do they have the trophies and do they fit in with everybody else? Because it's such a close group. Mm-hmm. The core is so big. It's not like 5 or 10 guys. I mean, we war with 50 people, and all 50 of them are very active. They're kind of almost competing for places in the clan, and everybody's having a great time. So that personality aspect is really, really important, and that's probably one of the hardest bits to judge early on, right? So you can look at somebody's stats very quickly, but you can't necessarily. We've had people who've joined the clan who were very quiet to begin with. I think Galadon was one of the guys who joined in. He was quite quiet to begin with. And can you imagine kicking him out because you thought he was a little bit quiet?
Know, right?
That would have been a kind of a mistake.
It's the butterfly effect. Things could really be different now.
He has. Yeah, he's certainly come along with leaps and bounds. And that is definitely one of the things, certainly in the main clan. But what I've noticed now, and this is one of the strangest things, I was thinking about it the other day, I can still see a reflection of the very first people in Lost Phoenix the clan when it was first made, even now to this day, because those first people who were recruited, they then recruited like-minded people after them, and so on and so forth. And those similar personalities are still here today, even though those people are not here. And that's so important, right? Because there are clans that you're tempted to keep one player. Maybe they've got a whole load of trophies, they've got a fully maxed base, but they don't quite fit in. But you're just thinking, well, we'll keep them just because they've got a great base. But that's not necessarily the right thing to do, because if it's sending the clan out of balance as far as everybody getting on and having a great time, and it's better to build slowly with the right kind of people, I think. And really, it doesn't matter how long it takes, but you can get there in the end with the right people.
I agree. I think a lot of especially newer clans or clans that are lower level trying to get to be a higher level clan can fall prey to the mistake of accepting a max base or somebody with great stats and then kind of being held hostage.
That's right. Yeah, they kind of they start running the show, don't they? They're sort of you can't do without me, so therefore I set the agenda here, and you don't want that at all. You want to grow with the people that you've got who are, they might be slightly higher, slightly lower than you, but you want to be growing with them as a team, and you'll be much stronger for it. 12 months down the line.
I agree 100%. Now, what about recruiting? Do you how did you recruit when you started? Were you trolling global for recruits?
I've got to tell you, I was brutal when I found somebody who I really liked. Okay, so I don't do this anymore, but I used to literally stalk them. So if I met somebody in global who I just thought, you know what, he's a really nice guy, or this is a really nice girl, or whatever, and we got on really well, but they were in another clan, and it was obvious they kind of had a loyalty to their clan, I would literally stalk them to the end until they eventually joined me, because I knew they were the right guy for the job, and I knew they would want to come eventually. And there are people who are still here now who I spent 3 months just after one guy.
Okay, give me the name. Give me a name.
Sean MCG was certainly one of them. Now he's sat in retired at the moment, but he's playing in our Boom Beach clan. He's one of the leaders in our Boom Beach clan.
Oh, nice.
And I stalked him, and he kept saying, I don't want to leave my friends behind, but I'd really like to come, and I just would not leave him until he came. But to get a really good person, it really is worth it just for the one person.
Yeah, it really is.
And I was just saying before that, if you're just doing it by the numbers game, by just kind of accepting anyone and then seeing who's any good, you're literally talking maybe 1 in 10, 1 in 20, who's going to be the exact fit for your clan, who's just going to fit in just right. And nobody wants to see a mass turnover of players constantly. It upsets your clan. It just doesn't look very good. Has left the clan, has joined the clan, that going on constantly. That's not the way to retain players. So you want to go after the way that I used to do it. I don't do it now, but you want to go after the key people that you think are going to be a great addition.
Absolutely, and I agree 100%. You need to really identify and have a keen sense of the type of people that you want in your clan, and then try to hold on to them. But people are going to move on, so it's important not to get discouraged when one of your good players leaves. But at the same time, you always have to keep your eyes open. Me personally, I was a huge user of the Clash of Clans forums, the community forums, in the I Need a Clan section. And what I would do is, a lot of people just post and have a recruitment thread for their clan or their alliance in the looking for players section. But what I do is I went in and I individually either messaged or responded to people who I thought would be a great fit for the clan.
That's awesome. It's exactly what I was doing, but just in a different arena.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
You really have to recruit like you're a sports agent or something.
Yeah.
So those are some tips, but there's no right or wrong way. Another little tip I have is, sometimes if you have eager clanmates who want to have a bigger role within the clan, I think people feel more ownership of the clan if they feel like they have a job, kind of, in a weird way. Yeah. So what I like to do is, or when I'm starting out, is I'll take, maybe it's a younger person, or maybe it's just someone who's really, has a lot of clan pride, and I'll make them a quote-unquote recruitment officer. And then I'll send them out to, go do the dirty work, so to speak, talk to people in global, try to get people involved, try to make first contact with people, stuff like that.
That's it. I mean, the thing is, the more you get an individual invested time-wise and into your clan, then the more likely they are to stay, right? So that the more that they've invested and the more value that they feel, the more likely that they are to stay. And that's kind of what you need.
Absolutely. Now, I guess moving on a little bit, we talked about a decent amount about recruiting there. I wanted to especially get your thoughts on expanding your clan. So, well, that's the end of part 1, guys. Go ahead and head over to Spencer23 YouTube channel to hear the second half of our conversation. The link, in case you don't have it, to his channel is in my description. Don't forget to tell us about your clan. Take care, guys. Hey, guys, thanks for watching my video. Just a few ways you can help the channel out. Number 1, like. Number 2, subscribe. And number 3, comment. Tell me what you think of the video. I really appreciate it, guys, and it really helps me out a lot. Also, you can find me on social media. I'm active every day on Twitter at @clash_with_ash and on Bindle chat group #ClashWithAsh. And as always, you can find me on my website at www.clashwithash.com. Thanks, guys.